I saw three ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw three ships come sailing in on the Mappening in the morning. I started a little too low there. It's alright though. I'm glad you're here, guys. Welcome to the Mappening. This is a live stream fantasy cartography. Trying to think of a good C word. Cacophony. No, I was going for the alliteration, but just striking out here a lot. But hey, happy Christmas, happy holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Happy things. It is good to be here. Got my eggnog, guys. I did it. Welcome. I see a lot of people in the chat hanging. Iron TBO in the morning. It's 9 p.m. That's right, man. It's 9 p.m. on the East Coast. But trust me, there's some Europeans out there who are tuning into the Mappening. They always do. They're dedicated. They're hardcore. And it's like 4 a.m. for some of those crazies. Ah, yes. Okay. So here we are. I've got my eggnog. We're going to be working on a map tonight, guys. We're going to jump right in. I do want to wish you all a happy holidays. I do want to, recognize that you all are very dedicated in joining me here instead of being at that Christmas party I know you were invited to on December 23rd. It's that time of year for sure. And it's a good time of year. So we're going to be working on a map tonight. I want to first off thank the patrons, but blow! There they are. Oh, I just there we go. Okay, that's better. Okay. The patrons are awesome, throwing their weight behind the WASD20 and Sellsword Maps empire. Not so much of an empire. But really appreciate them. So want to start off by thanking the patrons for their support. Means a lot. Helps me buy the RPG books, buy all the lights and cameras and upgrade stuff, and even helps me, put a present or two under the tree for my kids. And yeah, appreciate that. So, cold hands. It's winter. I've got a map that I'm going to be working on. This is a commission for a guy I've been in contact with for a couple months here, probably about 6 weeks, and finally getting to it. I told him it's going to be a Christmas break thing for me, so here we are. My Christmas break is pretty much begun. I finished grading my exams, but I still got a few little grade book things to do for before the 28th, so I was hoping to get a little more done today. But Mappening mode engaged. This is a map he sent me. This has got to be the best map that someone has sent me and said, hey, I want you to draw a map for me. Here's a point of reference. And I was like, you are an artiste, my friend. So I was pretty impressed by this. Like, that's a dang good map, but he still wants me to draw it in my style, and I am confident I will do him proud. So, let's see. Let's go to the chat a sec and catch up on what's going on here. John Libby says, Merry Christmas from Tejas. Thanks, man. Texas. Merry Christmas Hana Kwanzaa. I like that one. What was the one I used to say? It was something like that. Yep, I like it. A-Shack Game says, is Nate's anyone else's favorite YouTuber? What a nice guy. What a nice guy. Dylan A says, don't have too much eggnog and get drunk on stream. You know what? I don't have this spiked. I don't. So that's not going to be happening. But I do have this. An all-day IPA from Founders Brewing. That's right. I'm two-fisting it. We've got, I actually didn't have any rum or brandy or cognac or anything that would have been decent with eggnog in the house. And I'm generally not much of a alcoholic eggnog guy. I'll tell you guys about my Eggnog Odyssey. I went to 2 stores. I'm going to fade this so I can still see it, but I'm going to start kind of doing my own thing here over it. Got to start a new layer. And so I went to 2 stores. Went to one last night before a Christmas party to get some party supplies. And they didn't have any eggnog left. And then I went to another store today where I heard it was on sale from a friend. And I went there and they were all out. Just no eggnog. The closest thing they had was like peppermint chocolate milk or something. It's just like, Oh, and they had pumpkin nog, which maybe I should have gone for that. I've never really tried it. It's probably pretty good. But I decided I'm going to make my own. So that was my last minute thing. That's why I was a little bit late, actually. I was making some homemade eggnog. Oh, and they were all out of light cream at the store. It was crazy. So, yeah, that was crazy. But I persevered and I made some eggnog with some half and half and some milk and some other stuff, some eggs. Yeah. Ashak Game says, Nate, if you could, I would really appreciate it if you would go to the how to level up video and read and answer my comment question. You know, I did see your comment, and it was a matter of one of those things where I have to go back and watch the video and see. I don't know. So I didn't get a chance to do that today. I was busy, like I said, grading my exams. But I will respond to your comment, my friend. For show. Happy Festivus. Yes, a fellow Seinfeld fan. A holiday for the rest of us. All right, here we go. What's going on here? My zoom in button ain't working. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. I plugged in my Wacom Intuos tablet. Buy your own. Link in the description below. Always getting those affiliate links out there. Didn't really have time to test it out, so we'll see if I can remember here. Also, I haven't drawn in a long time. Okay, there's the undo button. Good. What are these other buttons? Okay, this will help me drag things around. Yep. Okay. I'm relearning. Cool. Ryan Horace asks, is homemade eggnog worth the effort or should I stick to store-bought? You know, personally, I'm kind of a rebel in that I prefer store-bought. I think I really do. I thought I made a new layer here, but it's not showing up. Oh, I undid my new layer making. Okay, so we'll call this Coastline. I don't know. What do you guys think? Homemade eggnog worth it? I prefer the store-bought, but it's very different. Like, this is good in a different kind of way. This tastes like fresh. It tastes like a fresh farm. Like chicken poop. No. But yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I do really like the homemade. And I really like the store-bought. It has less flavor than the store-bought. The store-bought has like this strong, distinct flavor. I do not have black here. Let's get black. There we go. Boom. And what else do I need to do here? I'm going to go into my brush presets here. And, okay, here we go. Okay, I've got it a little bit squished. That's good. This is a technique, squish the brush a little bit, I learned from Hankerin Furnail, who is one of my biggest inspirations over at Runehammer. I watched one of his streams earlier today, and I like how he always starts his streams off with singing, so I thought, you know what, I've been like battling that, no, I'm not going to copy him for a while now, and it's like, you know what, no, I'm going to sing too. On Christmas Day in the 9 p.m. on the 23rd. All right, so we're just going to go in here and try to make a coastline. I'm debating whether or not it's a good idea to have this map here in the background or whether I should just be going straight. You know, I have it printed here and I had it clipped up on my monitor on the bevel, not on the screen. And I was thinking, is it better to just have it as reference so I can kind of take, you know, my own inspiration from it and tweak things a little more, but decided I'm going to give it a shot with it actually in Photoshop here. I'm going to turn the opacity down even more just so it's super light. There we go. The secret to good homemade eggnog is proper aging, 2+ months. Yeah, I've heard that, and that was like, what? So it's got to like curdle and get all like chunky, I guess, and I don't know. Yeah. Hi, Renberry. Welcome. So yeah, we're going to be just probably doing a variety of things tonight. There's not much coastline in this one. And this is one of the cheaper maps I've done recently. So, and one of the reasons is like there's not that much coastline, and coastline is work. And it's just not a ton of detail. It's a little more like zoomed in, I guess. It's a little more, you're not like dealing with these big old continents and like 40 cities and stuff. So I like that. It'll be a nice little Christmas break map for me, winter break map. But I just haven't drawn in a while. I'm actually gonna just kind of draw some things here, just kind of get a feel for my brush again. Someone before we started was asking about a book for mapping, and I definitely do recommend Jared Blando's book. I've been thinking about, I don't have this set right. Okay, so I got to put that to brush size. There we go. Jared Blando's book is really good. How to Draw Fantasy Art and RPG Maps or something like that. Okay, so this is a forest. Oh, knocking my microphone around. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do forests yet. I might try kind of a modified style like this. And then, yeah, I've been thinking more and more about doing, looking at the Fantastic Maps style of trees that he often does, which is like super, just kind of wispy. Like, almost like that. But again, I'm just kind of getting warmed up here, getting a feel for it, because I haven't touched my drawing stuff in like 2 weeks, which is kind of a while for me. It's a little too spiky and even, but yeah, something like that could work. Spiky and like uniform. Uniform spikiness is not good. Random spikiness is much better. Let's see. Currently, John Jarvis says, currently working on my version of the Scythe Iron Harvest world for a D&D game. Love having this stuff in the background. Nice, man. That's awesome. Yeah, Scythe actually went on sale at my local game shop for $59.99, and I was so close to picking it up, but it's just one of those things I don't think I would. I just don't have people in my life who I game with enough, play board games with, who are into that sort of like complex board game. So, all right, cool. So, this was all just kind of warming up here. I think I'm going to give it a real go now. So this is pretty much it for the coastline, though, like what you see on screen here. So again, that's kind of nice that there's not a ton of that to work on. It'll make for some nice variety for you all, the viewers, as well. I was going to put my Patreon, or my Mappening banner back up there. I forgot about that thing. Flip it. If you're interested in just kind of starting D&D, I would recommend checking out my website, the Beginner's Guide to D&D, wasd20.net. There's a link in the description. But honestly, check out local game shops. Check out like meetup.com or go online, Roll20 or places like that, and just try to find some people who would be willing to teach you the game. And you probably will. Or the Absolute Tabletop Facebook group is one of my favorites. I'm a part of that group, and just a lot of cool people over there who you could say, hey, I'd like to try if you're up for playing online, which I recommend people check out. A lot of people don't like it, but there's just convenience to it, and there's just a super high quality of people, super high quality people over at AbsoluteTabletop.com that I am not exactly confident you would find in your local game shop, but I could be wrong. All right, so this is going to be pretty even overall. Nothing super craggy. I might have gotten a little too craggy in the beginning. So what are everyone's holiday gaming plans? Any holiday games going on? I am hoping to run a one-shot for my boys, either using ICRPG or Hero Kids. And my thought was, they've been asking actually, which is awesome. My oldest especially has been asking. And because we had talked about playing a Redwall adventure, and we created characters with the ICRPG rules, and I still want to do that, definitely. But then I mentioned, what about like a Christmas-themed adventure, like a Rescue Rudolph? You know, they're 6 and 8. I don't know if they're ready for Krampus yet, although I probably could cartoonify Krampus quite a bit and make it work. Krampus is kind of terrifying, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to leave a little, leave a little space here for my river there. Okay. Cool, so there's our coastline. Let's zoom out here. So that line weight looks pretty good for the size, I think. We can go ahead and do the lakes now, too. Make that a part of coastline. Let me get caught up in the chat here. Alec Visser, what's up, man? Thanks for joining. Scroll up in the chat here. See what I missed. Grove of Ancients or Ancients or Ancients? I don't know. Oh, yeah, I think it probably should be Ancients. It's probably a typo. Oh, good. People are taking care of that question for Ashak Games. Or Ashik. I don't know how to say your name, sorry. I left a comment on my level up video a couple days ago. All right. Yeah, so I mentioned my eggnog. I didn't spike it this time because I didn't have any of the alcohols recommended. I had a little vodka and I had a little gin. And I have some tequila, I think, from like a long time ago. We do make mixed drinks once in a while. But none of those were on the recommended list. It's like, I'll just drink it plain this time. Not sure I like the look of that, so I'm gonna redo here. Might take some liberties here, and I think I might just kind of make it a little more. And let's go ahead and make a little outlet for a river. Right here. And that will be going out that direction. Corrupt Reverend asks about if I've ever done a video with a city map. No, I haven't. People have been asking for that for, about 2 years, and I just haven't got around to it. I actually started sketching my first, city map. I guess I've done, little towns and villages and stuff like that. Just rough stuff, just for the purpose of my tabletop, not really anything that I'd be proud enough to say, look at this, guys. Here's how you do it, right? Just something that I threw together in 5-10 minutes. But, no. Oh, we got a Swede in the house. Welcome, man. Thanks for joining all the way from Sweden. Late at night or early in the morning. Christmas Eve in the morning. Little weirdness there. Okay. Zooming back out here. And here's another lake. The Forbidden Lake. Ooh. I like the shape of this one, actually. Yeah. I very much do. And then what I often do is make the upper edge of coastlines a little bit darker. Just make sure I'm not missing any other lakes. I might add some more lakes. Maybe a smaller lake or two later. Although, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good amount. All right. But yeah, I super appreciate having this reference map. This is... I was almost like, are you sure you want me to make you a map? Because you're pretty good. But... anyway, like I said, I'll do him proud. I think he'll be happy. That's always the goal. Just kind of darken that upper edge a little bit. There we go. This would be a little bit thicker. And over here. I guess let's start down here. Oh, I didn't quite go all the way to the edge there. Corrupt Reference says, cities are tedious. I believe it. Martin Tapley says, your team up with Hankerin was da bomb. Thanks. Yeah, I've had a Mappening with him twice now. And I just really like that guy. I'm one of his patrons now, actually. Just because I was so enthused and want to support the dude, because the dude is giving it a go. I mean, he quit his job and is doing the RPG creation art stuff and just card games and all kinds of stuff full time now, and it's a big inspiration for me. Okay, so this decent, and now up. Yeah, that's thick enough like that, I think. So I actually did my first. Oh, and I forgot. Oh, dang! I was gonna do a little giveaway on the Mappening here. This reminds me, but stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. I'll probably be announcing that on Twitter and Facebook. A giveaway of the new Absolute Tabletop supplement, which I made a map for. Show you guys that here. If I can find it. November map. I think that's the one. Yeah, so I made this for the guys at Absolute Tabletop. They wanted a hex map. They wanted it unlabeled. And they wanted be able to do like a dungeon, or not a hex crawl as a part of their Be a Better Weapon Master 2 supplement. So I will direct everyone over to Absolute Tabletop if you want to check out that supplement. It is really, really cool. I was stoked that they asked me to do a map for it, and it's a really cool idea, this kind of hex crawl. I'll take the hex off here so you can see it a little. Oh, maybe I won't. Where is it? There it is. Yep. So you can see it without the hex. Yeah, just kind of unlabeled, but wanted some points of reference here, you know, some cliffs and settlements and cave and weird stone things. Took a lot of inspiration definitely from Hankerin's Alfheim map for this. Really dig his style, and he's been teaching me a lot about the arts. Drawing, should say. So, yeah. That was a fun one. And so go check it out, absolutetabletop.com. It's also on DriveThruRPG. Be a Better Weapon Master 2. Awesome supplement if you're looking for how you can creatively get weapons in your game and get creative weapons in your game. All kinds of crazy, just, you know, everything from like little minor quirks that give a weapon a little more character, all the way to, you know, powerful characteristics of weapons that, you know, magic weapons and stuff like that. So really, really cool. Check it out, absolutetabletop.com. And you'll get a copy of this map. Let's see. Which program do I use? I use Photoshop. I used to use GIMP, but I have transitioned to Photoshop just because it's only $10 a month for me, because I have an education discount. I just do Photoshop right now. I'm thinking about doing Premiere and getting like the full Adobe suite. but it's a little pricey. I think the education package might be like $25 a month. I, up until very recently, was a college student, getting my master's degree. And I'm still a teacher, so I think it's still kosher that I get the education discount. Actually, I have Photoshop for free on my school laptop because we just have copies of it for our art classes, and I actually use it professionally a little bit here and there in my technology role at school. So yeah, there are certain things that are easier, but GIMP is very solid and totally free. Saw someone else asking how, let's see. Lost the question. Tablet. Oh, Ben Colding, there you are. How helpful do you think a drawing tablet is for map making? If you're doing it on a computer, it's a must. But paper works great. I look at what people like. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Devin Rue. I think she does almost all of hers on paper. And they're amazing. They're really good. And then there's, guys like Ben from Questing Beast. Same thing. Doesn't dabble in the digital stuff. But if you want to do digital, a drawing tablet is a must. And if you're not up for spending the big bucks, $2,000, $1,000, $800, $300, the Wacom, mine is probably like a $300 tablet, but the Wacom Intuos Draw or something, they used to be called a Bamboo, but now they're all Intuos. Mine is the Intuos Pro, but you can get the other Intuos ones, the basic ones, for like $100 or $80 or $70. Cheap. I might have a link to that in my map forging tools in the description below. I don't remember. Come on. There we go. Okay. We're getting there. Smooth this out a little bit. Okay. It's pretty good. Let me zoom out. Do the same on these little... Oh, I did that lake. Just got to do one more lake. Then, I don't know what maybe we'll do some mountains. I have a feeling that mountains are going to be like a rough draft because I want to try the ridgeline style mountains because that's what he has on this map. And I have not done that in a long time. I generally don't. Yeah, that's a really challenging style. Some people are really good at it. I feel like I can get some that look good, but it takes a lot of trial and error for me to get that kind of ridgeline style. All right, that's pretty good there. Pixlr is decent, but the free version is super limited. Like, you can't even save a file, from what I can tell, in Pixlr free version. So I would definitely recommend GIMP if you want to get serious. Pixlr is good if, like, hey, I have this image and I want to remove the background, make it a transparent PNG real quick, But for a file like this, I think that would be iffy. A-Shack Games, sorry, I did see your question earlier. Nick, just making sure when you level up, your experience point let you do it. Yeah, it's either experience points, or some people just use milestones. Some people will just say, hey, we're going to level up every 4 sessions. So it totally depends on your DM. Some DMs don't really use XP so much, but that is the standard way that most people do it, your XP. Yep, and those levels are in the book, the Player's Handbook, or the free basic rules about how much XP you need to level up. What is the best way to get commission work doing maps if you're good at it? So yeah, Nathan Kelly, Cartographers Guild is good, but also just start posting your stuff on Reddit, on like the R map making, and start posting your stuff on Imgur. I don't know how to say that. Imgur, the one that's like IMGUR, or you can also do ArtStation. Just start sharing it around. Twitter, start a Twitter account and just start sharing it. I'll give you some retweets if you got some maps. I'm not interested in like trying to maintain some monopoly on map commissions here. I get plenty of requests, and I'm always looking for people. Actually, if I can't do it or I don't fit their timeline, I'm always looking for people to say, hey, but check out so and so. Or if I'm too expensive, I'm like, well, you can try so and so. I don't know if they'll be any cheaper, but worth a try. Runehammer, welcome, man. We've been talking about you a little bit behind your back. Hope you don't mind. The eggnog is gone. I just chugged it. Now I'm on to the all-day IPA. G-Bros, drawing on a computer is not too much different, but it is takes a little getting used to for sure. And I still feel like I'm better on paper, but there are so many advantages to working digitally. All right, what did I do here? And why? For those of you who were not here at the beginning, this map that I'm working on is a reference map that my client actually sent me, which is kind of cool, that I'm just kind of using as a base here. And I think what I might do now is actually liberate myself a little bit from it and just say, because it's a little busy to look at in the background. Jason, thanks for tuning in for a bit, man. Yeah. Go check out Jason's channel. Help me out, Jason, if you're not already gone. Realmsmith or something like that. He's got a new channel going. Good stuff. Recommend it. All right. So what I was thinking is I'm going to make some like rough mountains. Yep, we'll call this rough mountains, as opposed to smooth mountains. No. All right, and then we're just going to kind of go crazy here and say, yep, we want mountains here, 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 here. There's going to be a city right here, so we need to back off of that. We're just drawing some mountains. They're kind of rough, but, you know. And just trying to get some placeholders there so I know where they are, and then I can get rid of them and do my own thing. So I just feel a little bit liberated from the reference I see, which again is super helpful, much more helpful than not. But I also want to make sure I'm kind of doing my own thing. You might say, well, Nate, your mountain references there are falling pretty closely to what he already had there, but that's okay. Stop talking like that. All right. I think that's pretty good. All right, now I can hide his map. We'll give it one last yeah, so again, not a bad map. And as I told him, I think this is the best reference map anyone's ever sent me. Are you sure you want me to draw you a map? All right, cool. I might have to back out of the Woodford and Eggnog, Donald Graff says. All right, so I've got my rough mountains. Now I can crank those down a little bit just to have... I'm on the wrong layer there. Just to have something there. Got some cities circled there, so I can make sure I stay out of the way of those with my mountains. But this, I'm a little scared to do this live, guys, because A, I haven't drawn in a long time. B, I have not done the ridgeline style in many moons. But we're going to give it a shot here. Okay. Oh, I'm drawing on that layer. So let's get my new layer. Ridgeline mountains. Badoom. Donald Graff says, really like the series. It helps a lot. Thanks so much. Well, thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate the kind words. I can't remember how to... Okay, I'm going to start just drawing some squigglies, guys. I know that sometimes you got to just start doing it. Oh, a Windows feature update. Leave me alone. Snooze. Snooze. No, go away. I have to hit snooze and hit the X. This is not like my alarm clock. Okay, so that's decent. We'll see how that goes, I guess. Let's keep going with this one, and then we'll try doing our... So let's get a big old rock of a mountain there, and then we'll do a little of this. And the key is to, once in a while, you got to do, you got to do these once in a while. A peak, really, right? Otherwise, it just turns into like this, and it just looks like this odd vein in the land, right? And it's not, I have found that it's not enough to, just kind of make a squiggly line. At least for me, like this can be okay, but I like a little more, and some could even argue this is more realistic, and my back and forth method is like not how mountains form, but I don't really care. I like the look of it if there's a little more variety. I have definitely gone too far with that in the past. Any tips for a DM with a brand new group? Stay cool. You'll mess up a little the first time, and that's okay. And you'll just learn, and you'll just get better, and be upfront about your mistakes, and and when in doubt, look something up later and just make a ruling on the spot. Just roll something. I don't know how that rule for that works. Let's just roll something. Yep. Runehammer, push through the terror. All right. Let's try zooming in a little bit here. Whoa. I did the bad thing. I think maybe I just hit this now. No. How do I get out of here? Somebody help me. Hankering. You know things? Okay. I got it. Nate, you have set a YouTube record for ratios to likes to dislikes. Have I? I'm. My friend says I'm too nice. He's told me that before. Well, I don't know if he's told me I'm too nice, but nothing wrong with a few dislikes either, for sure. Sometimes I can be too tactful, maybe. Need to be more harsh. I'm trying to see. Speaking of. I would love like an easy way for me to be able to see how many people are watching. Looks like the peak was 37 at one time, so that's cool. I think I have to go to my watch page. Here we go. View on watch page. Yeah. And Ashak, just look up some good videos, man. I recommend Matt Colville. I do have a couple videos for new DMs as well, so check those out. If you just search WASD20 new DM or something like that, that might help. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to finagle with things. Pause the video of myself, and okay, there we go. Cool. All right, 31 of you watching right now. Nice of you. Nice of you to join in, guys. Not bad for a December 23rd viewing when many of you are out gallivanting about with your eggnog and your Santa hats. All right, so now the key is to kind of zoom in here and try. Again, I'm a little scared. But actually, the worst is out of the way. The ridgeline is like scariest to me. But like this right here is going to be a little tricky because, you know, I'm not really, it doesn't really make sense in my mind to draw something like that so much. It kind of ruins it for me. So anyway, we'll just roll with it. And, you know, on these, I've gotten into the mistake of just sweeping them out like this too often. And then, yeah, I don't know. It just looks a little, I don't know. Yeah. I think I've learned that varying it like that can be really helpful too. And making some that are really steep and some that are, see, that's a little weird though. That one. Even that, yeah. Too steep is weird to me. Okay. So we're just drawing some lines out here, and once in a while you can kind of do that sort of thing where they kind of cross. This part is a little weird, so maybe I actually, what if I just went out like that and made another mountain there? That could work. See, this is where, yeah, I think I should zoom in. That would probably help. There we go. Okay. Cool. It's not going terrible. And see, you can kind of darken these in too, depending on your style. And some people will do a lot of like this sort of thing where you kind of start dark and then you kind of get a little dashed and dotted. I usually don't do too much of that, but here and there. Or sometimes I add it in afterwards, add more of those lines afterwards after I got the main ones. Okay. Yeah, probably gonna have to do something about that, but we'll mess with that later. Give it some time. All right. And a little of this. That right there. And the nice thing about working digitally is I can go back and I can say, you know what, this is a good spot for a real kind of peak. So let's do it. And I'm gonna get rid of my rough mountains here actually. There we go. A little less distracting. And we can do that sort of thing, right? And there we go. Okay, coming along. But yeah, again, the ridgeline style it's challenging for me. I feel like Ben from Questing Beast can just bust it out and make it look good like every time, and I feel like I've got a little work to do on that yet, but I've not been practicing it, so that's on me. Some of those lines are a little bit thick, but I think we can make that work. Yep. Not bad. Not a bad start. Timorum Games, yes. Get some holiday cheer, my man. G-Bros streams on the Mappening usually about an hour and a half is what I go for. Hour to hour and 45 minutes. I think I've probably done 2 hours before, but I should probably wrap some presents before Christmas too, so I think I'm going to be doing that tonight. I got my, I hope they don't watch this later. I got my boys a Nintendo Switch. But it's kind of for me too, because I really want to play it. I've been jonesing for some Zelda, guys. Ooh. Yeah, and I just couldn't justify it until Christmas. It was like, no, I just really can't do that. But then when my kids asked for it for Christmas, it was like, I love you guys. You've just given me the reason for the season. So I'm gonna have to come up with some good little like quest. I don't know. You guys give me ideas here. For like, I don't know. Should I do the notes hidden around the house, like the little scavenger hunt for the Switch? I want to do something special, out of the norm. My parents would once in a while like wrap something in like a huge box and do like the peeling back layers sort of thing. But that's just kind of a pain and seems a little wasteful in terms of wrapping paper. So I was thinking the scavenger hunt thing. Even putting some like clues outside in the snow. They gotta get boots on and go outside. I don't know. But my parents would also do the thing like where, man, I really want this video game. And then they like give me the video game or a CD or something like that. And then they'd like tape like 5 walnuts to the game or something like that. So it just throws off the shape. And I'm just like, dang it, I don't think that CD is here. Right. Yeah. A-Shack Games, First Encounters, man, stick with, I really enjoy the classics. Kobolds, goblins, stuff like that. Yeah. But see, you know, maybe if you know what they're interested in too, that helps. My brother's really into like classic monster movies, so I actually like made some kind of like vampire spawn sort of thing. Or no, it was a werewolf, that's what it was. But I totally, you know, it was like his first time playing, and it was, I think he was a level 3 character, and I was like, well, he's not ready for a werewolf, but I made it work, because I was like, well, I know he likes classic monster movies and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe you know what they're interested in, that can help. But like I said, Matt Colville's running the game is just a stellar series and he actually plans an encounter like live, or not live, but on the videos. He says, all right, let's do this. You can do this. I love his attitude of just like, hey, you should dungeon master. You should do this. It's fun. Give it a shot. Here, let me help you. I mean, I'd like to think I have the same attitude, but he just has the tools, the toolkit, and he's got the experience that I just don't have. All right. So yeah, you just kind of do these lines out here. And again, I get into the habit of just doing whew, 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 like I did on my very first map. And, you know, nothing wrong with it. But trying to vary things a little. And once in a while I'll do. Okay, so I got to remember where the cities are, though. Let me just check my rough mountains. Okay, so there's one here. But I could still put, you know, it's okay to do a mountain or two kind of out in the random, too. Out in the random. That's not a thing. But, so we could do one. Yeah, we could make this work. Let's see. Just kind of have these branching paths off our ridgeline, right? And maybe even like that a little bit. Cool. I like that. And then we're going to have a city right in here, kind of in this heart. Maybe it's a dwarven city. I don't know. Dwarves like mountains. Martin Tepley. Colville has the eyebrows. Yes, man. And the hair. He's an intense dude. At first I didn't really like him. He talked too fast. I was just like, I am exhausted from watching you. But I got used to it, and I like him a lot. I do. I'm going to meet him someday. I must. All right. I'm liking it, guys. You know, it's not bad for a, not bad for first time. We do have to fix this, for sure. Funkiness. So yeah, the common sense way. I always have a hard time at the top and bottom of these ridge lines. I'll say that. I do. I really do. Especially the top. Like this right here, this is a little thick for the bottom. You know, I got to make it like fade out. All right, let me get in here and do this right. Yep. Then we can do some kind of foothills too, you know. Yep. All right. Cameron Reese, welcome. All kinds of things are cracking. Mostly the earth. If you catch my drift. All right. Let's be bold. Let's erase. That doesn't take much boldness. What am I saying? Let's do... Okay, that got a little crazy. Let's do... What we got to do, I think, is... There we go. Now make this the ridge line. And just kind of... There we go. See, that's better. That right there is better. And then we can maybe do a little mountain there, off to the side. I don't know. Yeah. And then I think it goes out a little bit far, but if we make some of these go out far too, then I think it will be all good. And just kind of like that. I feel like I'm squinting a lot at my screen tonight. I'm starting to get a headache from like squinting, like. But yeah. Actually, that's a Runehammer tip right there. Step back and kind of blur your eyes a little bit and say, "How does that look?" You know. And I can't remember, spotting, I think is what Hank calls it. If you're around Hank, I think that's right. All right. Kind of make some little, it's not bad. Okay, so this is a little, it needs some work. Off target there. What you looking at? Hey Josh, how's it going? Is there a software yet that just takes what's in my brain and puts it on the screen, no hands needed? See, I thought it was a serious question at first, Josh. You jerk. I wish, man. I have the best ideas, guys. Trust me. I just can't. I can't do it. I really want to learn to like do character art and stuff like that. I've tried, and I know it would be a matter of practice and dedication. So I have a book on figure drawing, but I just haven't put in the time. I started, I just haven't put in the time. So yeah, I wish. I've got all kinds of crazy monster ideas. I used to draw a lot of like comic book stuff when I was a kid, and I felt like I was decent, but where I really dropped off was, I think, like high school. We just did not have a good high school art program. I went to a tiny little high school. All right, so now I'm doing what I said before, where I kind of go back and I kind of see how some of these look. Don't want to do it on all of them, but I'm okay with doing some. This is a little odd. What if I kind of did a little peak of a mountain there? It's like I went too long without a peak. Yeah, that's good. That's better. A little bit. Yeah. Not bad. All right. And kind of do this. Cool. What should I do next, guys? So I got more mountains to do, but I want to do something else. Should I do forests? Should I do some terrain? Should I do cities, towns? What do you guys want to see next? What else is there on this thing here? Yeah, so we got forests. hills, like kind of just general terrain, unique locations. Let me know what you think. Cities and towns. Got to do a compass rose on this one. I also am doing a border on this one, which usually means I kind of take what I've got and I shrink it all down a little bit to make room for a border. Got to vote for terrains, vote for towns. Got some rivers. Getting caught up on more of the chat here, sorry guys. Yeah, I can't keep up. So I'm just gonna keep drawing. All right, let me finish up these mountains here. And this is gonna be, I think I'm doing the parchment style on this one, I believe. So I should probably, I might try a new parchment here. I might try making my own. I've been feeling like I should do that. I'm using a totally legal one that was just like free to, it's not like I'm breaching copyright or anything. It was like here, free to use even for commercial purposes, and you don't need to give me credit. So I've not been. But I feel like it would be a good step for me as an artiste to make my own. And it could lead to something cooler than what I usually use. Because the one that I use is really good, but it's almost always the same. I'll just tweak the color a little bit from time to time, or zoom in on a different section maybe, at most. All right, we'll get to you guys' comments in a minute here in terms of what you want to see. We'll see what you want. What you want. All right. Guys, let me tell you, I'd be talking to myself if it weren't for you here. I'd be singing these same songs. I would be going, all right, yeah. Even if you weren't here, I would be doing those things. So because you are here, I get to feel a little bit less crazy, and I appreciate that. I really do talk to myself. It's a thing I got from my dad. We'd make fun of him, actually. He'd be out in the garage. Dad, if you're watching, sorry, outing you. He'd be out in the garage, and we could hear him through the garage door talking to himself, just going, oh, all right, yeah, let's get a little of this over here. And, okay, I'll move this here. And, all right, then I think I got to get upstairs and get that. And we would just laugh. Go, listen. And now I do it. A-Shack games, don't worry about getting them familiar with the rules. The main thing is you need to learn the rules. Well enough, not all of them. And then you just tell them what to roll. I recommend watching my How to Play D&D series so you can get a feel for the rules or read the book. But you know, my How to Play D&D series I think is decent. It's pretty popular. And then what I say in the beginning of that is, you know, if you don't need to watch this to show up and play, all you need to do is show up and do what your DM tells you. You tell me what your character wants to do, and then I'll tell you what to roll. You know, and it's that simple. So don't feel like people need to learn the rules in order to play. They'll pick it up. Yep, they'll pick it up. No stress. Okay, so these do need kind of a ridge liney type thing here. There we go. Just to match the rest, they need that. Cool. Oh, I thought I was holding the space bar and I was not. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see what people want. Yeah, so A-Shack, I guess, you know, that's my thing then, you know. Yeah, but you said how I'm going to get them somewhat familiar with the rules in 6 days. So that's what I'm saying. Don't worry about getting them familiar. Just, you know, have them show up and it'll be, you know, you won't get much done at first. Just do, you know, a couple encounters. And the best way to learn is not to say, here, read this, everybody. because then people are like, I don't know if I'm up for this. Yeah. So I would just say, get them to, get them to show up and they say, hey, I want to attack this thing, or I want to try to talk to him. And then that's the main thing, is just ask him, hey, what would your character do? All right, so I'm scrolling through the chat here because I want to see what people said. Towns, terrain, rivers, yes. Cities and towns, maybe a lake or a small forest. Okay, so we've got a tie for towns and rivers. So let's do a river first, and then we'll do some towny stuff. So I'm just holding my reference map here, and noticing a river. Yep. Okay. And so the rivers look like they're kind of by swampy areas, which is cool. And then there's one. This lake does not have a river, and I think I'm going to add some rivers for sure. I'm assuming the dotted lines are roads, and the solid lines are rivers. So there is going to be a river out of the Wisped Hell, which is a forest. Let's get this guy's map back in here. Crank down the opacity a lot. Oh, whoops. There we go. Crank down the opacity on that. One of the things I always keep handy on my table for new players is I have from the Pathfinder beginner box a picture of all the dice, and then I have it, and it says like D20, D6, and it's just like, because when you tell them, hey, roll your D20, they're like, oh, which one is that again? Or, all right, now you roll your D8 for damage or whatever, and then they're like, oh, which one is that? And so I just have that picture handy. What else? And then like actions in combat can be very helpful too. Just like, here's the things you can do in combat. Yeah, and I have a lot of that from the Pathfinder beginner box, which I feel like was super good at teaching. Say what you want about Pathfinder, that beginner box is like one of the best aids in learning RPGs. I prefer D&D 5e for sure, but that beginner box was stellar. Just a good product. All right, so here's a river. So I think I will make a little indentation in my coastline. Right about, and I like to give it a little more character than just going straight out to sea. I like to get these little inlets here, something like that, All right, and then I should make. I'm gonna keep rivers on coastline. It'll be the same layer. We'll do it. I've found myself over layering lately. Okay, I don't like that line, so we're gonna be going out of the forest here. I really like his lines, but I'm going to vary it a little bit. And there's another one that goes through Valian's Reach here. And we'll do that. And then we can maybe just do a little of this too. And that's pretty good. Now this one, there's no river, so we should make one. Don't have to necessarily, but I'm going to. Now, we could have it going out either way, but you generally would not have a river going out both ends of a lake. There's going to be one lowest point, almost always. It is very unlikely. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Is that right? I don't know. You guys tell me. But I feel like it's very likely that there will be one outlet. And many inlets, for sure, but one outlet. Many rivers and streams drain into this basin. But so that's a natural spot right there where I would generally put a river. Now this could be natural too. You could just go right boom on that or on that. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor. I think you can. But yeah, this is good. All right. And then I like the idea of having, so this is mountains here. You're going to have lots of water draining out of the mountains. So we'll make another little river. Just coming right here and attaching there. We'll have one. See, there's a road there, so I don't want to get too busy with that. but maybe we'll make one that's going out of the mountains here and draining in. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to do much more there. Maybe one here too. Coming out of the mountains and draining into the lake. Okay. Isn't a delta where a river feeds into a body of water? Yeah, that sounds about right. A-Shack with dice. I think I explained that pretty well in How to Play D&D Part 2. Yeah, so you always use your D20 to determine if you hit or not, but then the damage will vary depending on the weapon or monster or whatever. Yep. All right. I'm liking the look of it so far. This map, that is. I think it's coming along. And then there's another river down here that kind of just drains into this swamp, and that can be sometimes the way it is. Like a river can just disappear; it could go underground. From what I've learned, and I could be wrong here, but that's based on what I've learned. I think that a river potentially could just kind of dry up and disappear, or go underground. So this one is gonna just kind of drain into this swamp here. Drain the swamp. Gonna make it a little more meandering here. There we go. That's a little better. And then we can make it kind of fade out there. Like that. All right, pretty good. Let me make a little here. Yep, I dig it. This got a little funky, so let's zoom in there and smooth it out. I didn't smooth it out. I'm just making it worse. Okay, that's pretty good. Good enough. Yep. All right. Let me just see if I heard from... No, okay. Cool. So yeah, it looks like people are taking care of A-Shack. He's learning D&D in the chat here tonight, so thankful for all the helpful people who helped me as well when I was new. So happy to help and happy to see others helping. All right, so we're gonna make a river that comes out of the mountains here, like this, and also, yeah, I think that's good actually. Keep it simple. Okay. Man, I feel like I got a few hours left in me, guys. Should we pull an all-nighter? How long have I been going? Okay, but been going an hour and 10 minutes. Tell you what, guys, I'm going to go potty. Okay? Is that okay? And I'll see if I have any more eggnog to refill. You guys stay put, or go refill your holiday cheer, and I will be right back. Bye-bye. three ships come sailing in on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day I saw three ships come sailing in. On the Mappening in the morning. Probably 4 in the morning if you're in Sweden. I don't know. I found a little more eggnog, guys. I made like a tiny batch today. Because, I'm spilling a little bit. Because it was my first time making homemade eggnog. And, intense here. I don't have any napkins. I do have this screen cleaning rag, cloth, which I can wash later, I guess, because I've got a few of them. There we go. So my first time making eggnog, and the homemade stuff, and it was a little, I didn't want to make a big batch. It was just making enough for me to have on the Mappening, because it's a tradition. I think this might be the third Mappening now that I've done near Christmas, just because, it's when I start to have a little bit of time. And I think it might be the third Mappening where I've had eggnog. I know I did last year, but I feel like I did the year before too, maybe. That's kind of crazy to think that it's been going that long, but yeah. All right. Pow. Okay. Now, is there a river right here? Why is that? Why is that way? Where's the map? Yes, there was. Okay, a little river there. So we'll make a little inlet here on the coastline layer. That sort of thing. And then we'll just kind of take it out into the grove of ancients. Of Asians. And that. And then a little bit here too. So I was at a Christmas party last night, and I met some people who, one friend who I had invited to play D&D with me a long time ago. I never did this island. Guys. Whoa, there's several islands. What was I thinking? What was I drinking? Eggnog. Non-alcoholic. So I met some guys at a party last night, Christmas party at an old college friend's house, one of whom I had invited to play D&D a few years ago, and he was interested, but it just didn't work out. It wasn't a priority for him at the time, and for whatever reason. But lately, he's been a lot more curious. He watched Stranger Things, and so he was grilling me last night on D&D questions, and it was awesome. It was so cool. And he wants to play. So I'm really excited for that. All right, that's looking good. And let's do this one here. I followed those pretty closely, but I like the shapes that he had in there. Again, this guy, did a bang-up job on this map. Okay, that one I already kind of darkened the coastline well enough, just naturally pressing harder on my tablet. Challenge rating. So, the basic way I understand challenge rating, ghostly, is if I have a level 3 party, let's say I have 4 level 3 characters, they could generally handle a monster with a CR 3. Generally. There are so many factors that make that throw that out of whack. But that is some guidance, we'll say, which is better than no guidance. And some people would say, CR is useless. And at least it gives you some guidance, okay? Because those people would then not propose, in my mind, a simpler alternative. And I also think that that loosey-goosey anything goes is not great either. So for me, it's like, hey, I'm thankful they have that because it provides some guidance. But I really recommend using the Goblinoid Encounter Planner. I really like it. It's online. Just search Goblinoid 5th edition or something like that. I think that's what it's called. And that's they use math. It's good. I like math. All right. So we did our rivers, guys. What was the other towns? Okay. So I hope I didn't like misconstrue anything, but I'm not going to be drawing like a town map. What I meant is like drawing a little town icon on my map. So we're going to do that. Let's see where there's a town. All right. Towns and cities and things. So this guy used my style that I used on the original maps I made, which is cool. And I think we'll stick with that for now. There's a couple ways to do a town. So let's zoom in here and I'll show a couple ways. So I like this little seaside town here. It's kind of cool. Let's go work on that. So if I were drawing a town, I'm going to get rid of the coastline here and I'm just going to, well, let's do settlements. So what I usually do is make a layer for settlements. Settlements. All right. Then we're going to get rid of the coastline and just kind of play around here. So one way to do towns is like a little a little hut type thing. I need to sometimes drawing on the tablet is a little bit trippy. If I'm like holding it a little bit crooked, I just will keep drawing a line that's slanted in a weird way. Nathan Kelly, do I find that most clients prefer digital lettering or would they prefer handwritten text or calligraphy? Kind of half and half. Yeah, kind of half and half, I would say. I don't claim to have like extremely good handwriting. I think it's sufficient for a map. But I do tell clients that, if you want a really professional looking map, depends what they're going for. I do recommend the digital text. It will come out a little more professional, but some people like the character of the hand lettering, which I would not attempt to do on the computer. Like, let's do this, guys. Let's get distracted a minute. I like being distracted. Okay, I'm not going to do it on top of this text. We have to do it. Okay, so let's just do like the Grove of Ancients right up here. Yes, it is supposed to say ancients, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, my T is a little too long there. The Grove. And I would probably want to put a grid on here too, just so I can get straight lines. The Grove. Okay, so let's just keep it at that for now. Now, I really don't like how long that T got, so let's just make a new T. Okay, and then I would generally do some little serifs, I think they're called, like that. So it's not coming out terrible, but I just, especially on the computer, I do not feel comfortable doing that very much. I feel much more comfortable doing that on paper. But this is the first time I've ever tried it on the computer, so it's actually not as bad as I thought. But so yeah. Anyway, you can go see my maps on sellswordmaps.com, and I've got a variety of maps that, most of which probably do have my handwritten text because digital lettering is more of a recent thing for me. But yeah, lots of good discussion going on in there about being new to D&D and how to do it. But yeah, I mean, the most important thing is just do it. All right, so a little town here, and I actually did get this style mostly from Jared Blando's book, and I would kind of go like that. He gets more detail. I like to keep them pretty small, personally. Now Now you could do some like cool, like, I don't know, that sort of thing. I'm more likely to do that sort of thing on like a tower or something, or just a bigger settlement, like a great hall sort of thing, right? But you can do a chimney if you want. You can kind of add to it, and then we can do like some little these sorts of things here. That kind of makes it look like a grass hut though, so I don't always do that. But sometimes you can do something like this, and then a little of this, just kind of littler lines. If we zoom out, doesn't look terrible, but I probably prefer to do it without the lines. But I think I'm going to stick to the style that, and then I'll often do like maybe another, like a little fence here, another little hut of some kind or something, There we go. And you can kind of populate your little village here. And that can look pretty good. But I'm doing a pretty simple style on this one. And I think for now I'm going to stick with this tower that this guy has. And I'll ask him maybe later, hey, are there any you prefer that, is there a hierarchy here more than what I'm seeing? But, man, you need more eggnog apparently. I'm sure that will help with my phlegm. So, the tower style. Something like this. We can get rid of the reference point there and just do it. And then I usually make a little, go on the bottom like that. Get my eraser going to make a little door here. Come on. Okay, that's better. Okay. And could do a little window too, and then we do a little flag. And I just kind of struggle with the flags. It usually involves a lot of erasing. But hey, that's not bad. Something like that. I just don't like how the top looks kind of rounded, so then I usually have to go like that. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. And you can kind of take this out a bit too here. And just a very kind of simple silhouette. It's an icon. It's not an illustration so much. It's more of an icon. That's what I would call it. And let's get our coastline back in the picture. And there we go. We've got this kind of seaside town here. It's not a little village. It's a town. Cool. All right, and then zoom in, and maybe I'll make a little. Yeah, I think it needs a little bottom to that too. And you can maybe do a little road. So let's see what the reference map has here for road. Okay, cool. So maybe we'll make a little like kind of almost like steps here. Okay, got to position my tablet better. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. And zoom back in. Okay. So just make a little ground, some indications of some ground here. Like that. And, we'll fill in the terrain later. I shouldn't do too much of that on this settlements layer, but I will kind of do that little thing right there. And that's going to be good enough for now. For a little town thing. All right. And then maybe we can do a city too. So cities, I generally would do like 2 towers is how this style works. And there are all kinds of different styles. I actually got this one. I actually just kind of stole it. Maybe I shouldn't admit this. There's a map for, I think it's called Empire of Leather, Lether. And, yeah. Oh. There it is, guys. Eggshell. Just crunched on my first eggshell. Probably the only one in the nog. Right at the bottom. The dregs. Personally, I find a map making quite relaxing. Gibro says, yeah, absolutely I find it relaxing. This and painting miniatures, very relaxing. Although I will say, doing this for extended periods of time, I do find challenging for sure. If I'm doing it for more than a few hours, I just start to go a little crazy, need to take a walk. So yeah. All right, so we got to do a city here. Let's get our. There we go. All right, so here's a big city. Now this one I think I'm gonna do. He wanted me to actually do some bigger icons for that. So let's do like this one, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for that city yet. We might try that next, maybe if I'm feeling brave. But here we've got the 2-tower method. Now you could just copy and paste and get like that tower and bring it over and paste it, but I can use the practice drawing things again. This one's not going too well. So let's just draw a line. Let's just draw a line straight across. If I can get a line. That's kind of, there we go. Okay. And then I can always erase later if I need to shorten that. We kind of make it go down there, out here. This I do find a lot easier to do on paper, just given my current skill level with the tablet. And then I actually like to connect these, and sometimes I'll do this sort of thing, where I kind of, it's like a big gate almost. But I think I'm going to do windows in this one. Not going to have little doors down here, but I will do like windows. Got to make my brush a little thinner. Crank that down. So something like that. It's kind of cool. Not bad. And then maybe just a little like that. I don't know if I like that. I don't think I do. Just keep it level. And then we do the double flag on this guy. Wind's blowing the same way up here. All right. I think that's going to be good enough for now. Yep, not bad. All right. And then what else do we have in terms of settlements? I should get caught up on the chat here. Yeah, it looks like people are still giving awesome tips on new player stuff. And yeah, Hankering over at Runehammer, he's got a lot of this stuff for sure. His mentality for newcomers is great. And yeah, it used to be Drunkens and Dragons, Ashak. And of course, ICRPG, right? I mean, it's just a simpler role-playing game than 5e in terms of a lot of the stuff Hank's talking about for getting rid of initiative in general, and just kind of simplifying things and breaking it down to what's really at the core of the role-playing game experience. All right. So we've got another. Let's try one of these, just for variety's sake. I don't know what this guy has in mind here. I might ask him, what is Jacob's race? But I will often do these sorts of teepee-looking things. I dig them. I think the first time I did this was actually on a map that I worked on for Juice over at Tabletop Gaming with Juice, who used to be my DM. And he had like some orc settlements, and I think I did these for those. And I might have even got the idea from the reference map he had that had something like this. I don't remember. All right. Get rid of this. And nope, not working. I don't know if I like, yeah, I don't know if I like those. I think I'm going to keep it like this for now. There we go. I hit the wrong button. I'm going to have to think about that, guys. I'm not sure. Beep. Move on. City. Let's check it out here. You know, I can't remember if I'm doing digital text or handwritten text on this. I feel like, yeah. I feel like I'm losing my focus is what I feel like, guys. So he did 3 on here, and that must be what I had when I originally made this style. I'm not sure if I like it anymore, but we might stick with that for now. Okay. So for a city, could do walls. I'm not a big fan of like the curved wall, the circular looking thing. It doesn't really fit with the rest of my style. So what we might do here is make, what I'll often do is do the, almost like a big castle with a central tower and then 2 smaller ones on the sides. So let's try that. If we do something like this, and let's get rid of this guy here. Get rid of the reference map there. And put in these 2 smaller towers here. And then I think I will add some kind of wall, but I'm not thinking that circular kind of wall again. These look like beakers. Some kind of vials. Vials. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then yeah, let's just make a wall. Let's just do this. I never draw lines that straight. What happened? Well, that's not straight, but anyway. Then we're just going to color all this in. When I do this style, I generally stick with like it's all filled in here. All the cities are just black. You know, I'll see what the client thinks, but it's not a bad way to go. And then I do feel like this needs a little build up here and here, something like that. And we'll fill these in too. And we'll see what he thinks of this. I think it could work. Not totally symmetrical, but that's okay. And then we got our flags. And we'll do a window on probably all of them here. Even these, oh, that's too big though. That one's still too big, but let me see if I can just brush it, maybe. Little brush line there, took care of it. Okay. And then the standard. There we go. Fill that in. Get some smaller flags here. Not sure I like that one. I need to go to flag school, guys. All right, cool. Yeah. Runehammer, my man. I mentioned we were talking about you earlier. I just watched your stream earlier today on Roll20. Loved it. From a couple days ago, I think it was. Matthew M. Brooks, Mappening. What a Christmas gift. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Getting caught up here on messages, chatty chats. Runehammer says, death to all towns. Yeah, the towns can be, you know... I like the session where it's like, you know, let's just... Especially if it's their first time, you know... You have come from the, you know... You have come to this coast from a far-off land. On a quest for this item, you know... You have now reached the mouth of the cave. I love that. Just kind of straight into the action, especially for a one-shot. But even a campaign, just to start it off. A town will get you in trouble if you're a new DM because they're going to want to do things. They're like, well, where can I go to buy weapons? And you're just like, oh, man, I didn't plan for that. It's my first time. Or they want to go, you know, talk to this person or pickpocket this person, and all of a sudden you're just like, I don't know what's going on. All right, so now we got to make... Sorry, guys, I'm losing... Like I said, I'm losing my focus. That looks way too big right there. That's one thing I can do right now. Let's shriggity shrink that. Command T. Hold that shift button so we don't throw off the aspect ratio. And shrink it down. And then we hit that enter button. And Command D. All right. A little better. Size-wise. So I like this town. I don't know if it's like big enough from what he had compared to this other one. So maybe I should make it bigger, but I'm going to stick with it for now and see what he thinks of it. I am going to, as I did with my other ones, just kind of... A city on a hill. And kind of do that sort of thing again, too. Cool. Get some land going on here. All right, not bad. Cool, good for now. And yeah. I think we're nearing the end of my time here, guys. I encourage you all to continue to hang out. Stony Joe, you're immortalized in the stream. Yeah, don't say anything too stupid. People do that all the time. It's going to be okay. Oh. Let me, Oh, you know what? I said I had the link to that that book in the video description. I do not, guys. I should definitely add that to my WASD20 approved map forging tools. What a stupid name. Yeah, I don't have it there. But so far, I think, I made some good progress tonight. It's not a lot, but that's kind of the way I work. I work slow. I just do. And yeah, it's gonna be good enough for now. So again, I'm going for this thing right here. I'll go ahead and it's kind of my reference there. That's what I'm working from. Yeah, again, great reference from my client. Appreciate that. And yeah, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you have a really good holiday season, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Yule, whatever. And yeah, I think I'm looking forward to it. If you have any more questions, maybe I'll take a couple more questions. But yeah, for me, we're sticking around not too far from home, so I'm hoping we get a good dumping of snow because I don't have to drive very far, and it's just beautiful to have snow on Christmas. Kids love it, so yeah, nothing wrong with that. And we're going to my brother-in-law's house tomorrow night, hang out, and that should be good. Doing the presents and all that stuff. But what I was saying earlier, I got cut off, you know, and I didn't get cut off. I think I got distracted, and I also did not really pay attention to if anyone answered my question about holiday adventures. But I was thinking about doing something with my boys on Christmas Day, and then I remembered that they're going to be getting presents, all kinds of new presents. They're not going to want to sit down and play an RPG with their dad on Christmas. So maybe I'll try to do that tomorrow, Christmas Eve. I don't know. That could be cool if we have time. But yeah, something light, something, you know, they're young kids, so something silly and light. And I think that something like Santa's Gone Rogue or something, Saint Nick's Gone Rogue, or maybe a Rescue Rudolph sort of thing, you know, 6-year-old and 8-year-old might appreciate that sort of thing. Yeah, we'll give that a go maybe. And then, yeah. We got a funeral this week. I'm reminded that, you know, for a lot of people, the holiday season is a really hard time. So those of you out there who are missing family members and loved ones and friends, you know, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that you can find something to do that brings healing and that helps you just enjoy some time off and hang out with some cool people. But yeah, there's for me, it's just, you know, it's my wife's aunt died, so it's not anyone super close to me, but I'm just definitely reminded that it's a hard time for some people. So, you know, reach out, find some people to hang out with if that's you. And yep, for sure. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Ghostly 4:50 a.m. Yeah, I appreciate that dedication. How do you mark a day's travel? So a lot of times I'll do a scale, but I usually don't worry about it too much. I usually don't stress it. The hex map that I showed off here, this one, oh no, it wasn't this one, but I think in general people would say a hex is 30 miles, and if you're on roads, you can travel that in a day. That's what I've heard. I don't have much experience running that sort of game. Let's see, what else are people saying here? But yeah, doing a scale is not a bad idea. And you can do that in days, too. You could just say, like, this days. Don't worry about miles so much. That's what I do. I don't worry about miles. I worry, or kilometers or whatever. I just am, like, thinking, well, from here to here is this many days. And your scale could be like, this is 10 days travel, you know, or this is, and then have a little 5 in the middle or whatever. You could do that. Let's see. What are the basic fundamentals of making a dungeon puzzle world? That is a big question, man. Dungeon puzzle world. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that. Puzzles, I usually Google them. I'm not very good at them. I like riddles, but I usually Google them. I'm not very good at making my own. Dungeons, I feel like, yeah, I do have a video on how to make a dungeon. I don't know if it's rocket science in terms of my method. I think it's pretty simple and not anything mind-blowing. I really like Matt Click's video, Fistful of Dice, on the 5-room dungeon, this kind of structure, not of physicality of the dungeon, but of like the different encounters of a dungeon. I really like that video, so go check that out. I think it's called the 5-room dungeon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. let's see. Yeah, thank you for joining in for a while. Hankerin over at Runehammer. Appreciate it. And all of you guys. Ashak, I hope that your session goes well, playing with the new group and stuff. And yeah, you'll do great, man. Relax. It'll be just try to enjoy it and understand you're gonna mess up here and there, and you learn from it and move on. It's good. Yes, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. I'm gonna sign off here. It's been real. It's been really great having you guys hang out and do a Mappening with me. And I might even do another one next week, guys. It might be real soon because I've got this commission, and I think that'd be cool. I've got some time off from work because I'm a teacher, so I think that'd be really cool. So stay tuned for that. If you're wondering, if you want to make sure you don't miss events, you can hit the little bell icon on the YouTube video here, and that will give you notifications when I go live. You can also subscribe or go over to Facebook, and if you like WASD20 and all that stuff, there's also like a get notifications or be notified when of events, or subscribe to events or something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. So yeah, definitely hoping to go live sometime again very soon. All right, you guys rock. Happy holidays to you. Enjoy it. And oh no, I have to get the stop button ready first. There we go. And everybody take care. You'll see me again very soon.